Every guy thinks he is aware of what women need: the costly watch, the car, the fame. But what if I informed you there are six developments that pull her in deeper than any paycheck ever could? These traits aren't loud. They may not be on show. However, when a man embodies them, she feels it instantly. Now, not in her mind, in her body, in her breath, in her enchantment. And the most dangerous guys alive, playboys, mystics, stoic kings, they all recognize one reality. Girls crave more than money. They crave meaning, strength, and presence. And those six traits silently liberate all of that. In case you're tired of surface degree recommendations, if you need to understand what makes girls lean in, accept as true with desire, and by no means overlook you, this video is for you. We're not here to electrify with tricks. We're right here to embody electricity. No longer the type that flashes, but the type that appears like gravity. And when you assist this channel, you're now not just assisting us grow. You're helping heaps of fellows grow to be grounded, acceptable, and sooner or later free from confusion. Allow us to begin. Number one, directional self-assurance. Why do men with imaginative and prescient minds win? There's an effective shift that occurs in the presence of a man who knows where he is going. Girls can experience it in his body language, in his tone, and in the manner he moves through a room. No longer hurried, no longer aimless, but with a quiet depth that alerts something uncommon. Reason. Most men stroll through existence, reacting to the world. They waft, they adapt, they hesitate. But a man with directional confidence isn't awaiting lifestyles to inform him what to do subsequently. He already is aware of it. His goals are not random. His values are not negotiable. His power isn't always scattered. He's constructed on intention, and that intention frames his masculinity. Girls do not fall for loud ambition or the floor stage declarations of confidence. They fall for the quiet truth of a person who doesn't explain his task. He embodies it. While she senses that you aren't wandering but constructing, she mechanically recategorizes you. You're no longer just any other guy. You're now a force she can feel. Why does this count so deeply? Due to the fact female appeal isn't always usually visible. It's directional. A female's biology is wired to discover leadership strength. That doesn't imply management or domination. It approaches clarity. Whilst you own an inner compass that points to something past her, your craft, your undertaking, your legacy, she experiences you as secure to observe. This doesn't suggest ignoring her or turning into an emotionally unavailable person. It means you're anchored on your very own direction, and he or she becomes a part of that journey, now not the vacation spot. And that distinction is what creates magnetic pull. Here's how to begin embodying directional confidence in your lifestyle. Write your vision. In which are you moving in 6 months or in 3 years? What are you building? Who are you turning into? Reduce distractions. Directional confidence is diluted by using chaos. Take away conduct, human beings, or inputs that blur your clarity. Act with rhythm. Rituals and discipline construct internal balance. Directional men don't watch for motivation. They devise momentum. This power also influences your conversation. You don't overexplain. You talk in calm, brief, intentional statements. While she asks in which you're headed, you assert as soon as you do without having approval. While you set a boundary, you put it in force without emotion. When you ask her out, you are no longer seeking validation. You're providing an experience. And most importantly, you by no means rush. Speeding is for men who are not sure what they may be doing. Directional men pace. They create an area with their tone, timing, and attention. They're no longer in a rush to be chosen due to the fact they may be already selecting their direction. And girls feel this on a deep organic stage. A person with imaginative impression triggers both interest and protection in her. Interest because he's unpredictable inside the satisfactory manner. Safety due to the fact his choices are not reactive. His electricity is not random. He is held with the aid of something greater than her. And when she feels that, she doesn't just get attracted. She begins imagining herself in your international before you ever invite her in. Because in a world full of noise, the person with the route becomes her quiet obsession. Number, social fluidity. Being liked by others equals instantaneous acceptance, as true with preference. A person alone is a question mark. A man made famous by others is a solution. Girls are biologically wired to assess social cues. Heaps of years of evolution have skilled the woman fearful gadget to experiment with the environment speedily. Is this man prevalent, depended on, or followed? If others recognize you, her unconscious starts evolving to do the same earlier than you even speak. This does not suggest being the center of attention. It approaches being the middle of gravity in any room. A man who walks right into an area and is met with friendly eyes, warm greetings, and subtle nods would not want to introduce himself. His social proof speaks first. Why does this count number? Because a girl watching you in a social setting learns more about you in 3 minutes of commentary than in a half hour of communication. In case you're relaxed, others are secure. If you're respected, others reflect that. If humans want to be around you, she feels safe thinking about it. 2. Social fluidity is not approximately networking. It is approximately emotional fluidity in masculine shape, understanding the way to keep an area while not having to dominate it. Now, permit speak practice. When you enter a room, skim slowly, but recognize others early. If someone's speaking, concentrate first, reply second, and then redirect interest to others. Master small social rituals, eye contact, presence, and timing your replies without rushing. Practice emotional calibration. Do not suit the loudest electricity in the room. Suit the most powerful one. And pay attention to this cautiously. The subsequent time you're in a group placing with a female nearby, do nothing to chase her attention. Instead, have interaction with others with presence. Let her study your value through their eyes. Because while women see you as socially fluid, graceful under strain, kind to strangers, and down to earth in your presence, they experience something powerful. If others love him, maybe I may want to too. That's no longer good judgment. That is primal popularity. And it unlocks desire quicker than any compliment, gift, or smart line ever should. And usually, keep in mind, a girl sees how others treat you as an immediate reflection of ways you may deal with her once the mask is off. While she sees others chuckle with you, recognize you, or maybe simply feel safe around you, her machine starts to believe your masculine body, and her defenses drop. Because ladies don't just need a person for them. They need a person who knows how to flow within the world with poise and grace and manipulate, be preferred without attempt, be visible without shouting, be respected without having to prove it. It really is how she sees you earlier than you even observe her. Range 3, grounded humor. Why making her laugh isn't always the intention. Being rooted is every man wanting to make a lady chuckle. And yet, maximum men fail, no longer because they aren't humorous, but because their humor comes from want. The moment she senses what you're seeking to entertain, galvanize, or win her approval through comedy, enchantment starts to devolve and vanish. It might create a grin. It might earn a snigger. However, it would not pull her in. Why? Because it lacks the one aspect that certainly creates desire. Grounding. Grounded humor is unique. It would not try to be humorous. It would not chase. It does not perform. It comes from a man who's already complete. A person who isn't looking to use laughter as a shortcut to intimacy, but who knows a way to create emotional depth through lightness, timing, and power. When you make her giggle from that area, now not tense, not pressured, however rooted, it does something unique to her nervous system. It tells her, this guy is not afraid. He is comfortable. He owns his space. He is playful, however effective. And that mixture, it's magnetism. Think of the most charismatic, grounded men you recognize. They do not fire off one-liners. They make small, subtle observations. They tease lightly. They're secure, letting the moment breathe. They don't panic in silence. They inhabit it. That's what grounded humor teaches her, which you aren't dependent on her response. That her approval would not shape your 310-1671F8-56B BFC 4823-5088, which you're present, not performing. This is essential due to the fact ladies are not drawn to a man who is trying to manage their emotions. They're interested in a man who's anchored in his very own. Right here's a way to construct grounded humor. Exercise retaining silence after you make her snicker. Do not fill the distance. Allow it to hold. Allow her to sense your stability. Tease softly but stay calibrated. Gentle irony. feels it. Her frame relaxes, her mind opens, and her appeal becomes effortless. Wide variety for consistency as seduction, the long time period rhythm women melt into. Most men don't comprehend that the seduction isn't inside the spark, it's in the rhythm. Appeal would not deepen through grand gestures. It does not multiply through items or poetic phrases. It builds while female realizes something rare and grounding. You're consistent. This doesn't suggest robot. It doesn't mean impassive. It means you are emotionally reliable. It means your strength would not change together with her moods. It approaches that when she reaches for you, whether with warmth or with hearth, you are there, now not fluctuating, no longer reactive. Due to the fact that she feels that stability, something splendid takes place. Her anxious device, shall we cross? And that is when choice really begins. Women are biologically designed to check masculine consistency, now not maliciously, however instinctively. She wishes to understand. Can I agree with him? Will he be solid via my chaos? Is his eccentricity a pattern or performance? The man who passes this check doesn't do it via manage. He does it through calm rhythm. Reflect on consideration of song. The most powerful songs do not scream at you. They invent a regular pulse, a beat you may loosen up into, flow with, and lose yourself in. That's what your presence turns into while it's constructed on consistency. She begins to experience you even whilst you're no longer talking. She starts to count on your power. She would not have to marvel. Will he still be the same guy the following day? Because you've already shown her. And that emotional safety creates space for emotional surrender. Right here is how to embody it. Comply with each time, even with small promises. In case you say you may call, call. In case you say you are busy, stay busy. Permit your phrases and moves to reflect. Hold your tone degree. While she's emotional, do not help her depth. Shape your own integrity. Reply with timing, not urgency. Don't rush replies to keep her hooked. Reply while you're clear. Let your energy be planned. Set boundaries once and preserve them without emotion. A boundary that bends beneath stress is worse than no boundary at all. Consistency. Additionally, approach it so you do not use affection as a reward. You get it while it is real. You don't chase while she withdraws. You permit space. You live whole because actual masculinity is not steady noise. It's reliable presence. And that presence is what creates the maximum addictive sample in her thoughts. You don't spike her emotions and disappear. You don't come on strong and fade. You create a low hum of masculine power that by no means leaves. And in that hum, that rhythm, her femininity ultimately has room to relax, open, and fix. She can be interested in drama within the brief time period, but she falls for rhythm in the long term. And the men who master this don't just create appeal, they devise gravity. Due to the fact of a global complete of inconsistency, your reliability will become her romance. Variety 5, shielding power. Safety plus energy is her feminine unlock. At the innermost degree of her biology, a lady isn't seeking exhilaration. She's searching for containment, now not to be managed, however, to be held emotionally, energetically, and bodily. And while she meets a man who exudes shielding energy, something shifts in her frame. She begins to respire in another way. Her voice softens. Her guard drops. This does not come from puffed up ego or pressured masculinity. It comes from a quiet, unshakable presence that tells her, regardless of what you deliver, your typhoon, your spark, your silence, I cannot flinch. And this is rare. Many men mistake protective energy for being a fixer or a rescuer. They are attempting to resolve the consolation and give an explanation for. However, that isn't always what she wishes. What she genuinely craves is balance to your spirit. She desires to feel that she may be her full emotional self without causing you to disintegrate, chase, or cringe. This is why feminine energy often associates guys with chaos. She does not want drama. She wants to know, can he take care of me? Can he keep the emotional cutting edge I convey without dropping himself? And while you do, you end up the only issue she didn't recognize she wished for. Safe energy. Defensive energy suggests up to 3 invisible approaches. Emotional balance. You don't trip her emotional roller coaster. You allow it, witness it, Reply with presence, no longer panic. Lively grounding. Your tone is sluggish. Your posture is open. Your actions are deliberate. You are the anchor inside the moment, not the leaf inside the wind. Psychological reputation. You don't shame her feelings. You do not try to fix what she feels. You keep the area for her experience with no need to trade it. Here's how to embody it in movement. Do not interrupt emotional expression. If she's disillusioned or intense, simply concentrate. Nod. Maintain eye contact. Permit her end. You don't want to win or be accurate. Gradualize your breathing. The quickest manner to manipulate a room is to control your breath. The moment your breath is deep and consistent, hers will unconsciously be healthy. Talk less, imply more. Protective energy isn't approximately lecturing or explaining. It's about selecting fewer phrases with deeper purpose. Additionally, if she cries, don't rush in. Sit down with it. Offer your hand now, not your evaluation. If she rages, do not combat it. Watch her, ground her. Permit your silence to be the box. If she tests your limitations, put them into effect with calm, not anger. Say no once. Allow your stillness to communicate louder than your frustration. And through the years, something magical happens. She stops acting. She stops hiding. She starts unfolding. Her femininity deepens because she feels secure in your frame. Now, not due to the fact you overpower her, but due to the fact you refuse to crumble under her weight. This does not make you great. It makes you irreplaceable. Due to the fact that in an international of reactive men and conditional love, the one who holds her hurricane without seeking to alter the weather becomes the person she desires long after you have left the room. That is protecting electricity. And it would not need armor. It wishes presence. Number 6, emotional framing. A way to embody every second as intentional and appealing. There's one secret that separates magnetic guys from each other person. It is not theirs, it appears. It is now not their phrases. It is not even their popularity. It's their capability to frame truth. Women are not simply listening to what you say. They may be feeling the way you say it. They may be absorbing your body language, your tone, your tempo, and your pauses. And from all that, they're deciding what the moment manner is. This is what we name emotional framing, and it is the superpower of truly masculine guys. Imagine two men in the same conversation. One reacts quickly. He explains himself. He tries to correct her misunderstandings. He changes his tone to make her like him. In the second, one guy listens. He smiles as soon as. He speaks slowly. He does not justify. He reframes. He leads the moment without rushing it. Which one does she feel more secure with? Which one instruction enchantment? Continually the one who frames the instant. Due to the fact emotional framing is not controlled. It's directional management. It is the manner in which you maintain the means of reveling in, not her temper, no longer the placing, not the response. And while you maintain the which means, you maintain the energy. Ladies crave this in a person not because they want to be led blindly, however, but because they need to sense security in surrendering. And surrender is most effective when they believe the man in front of them may not fall apart under pressure. Here's a way to frame it emotionally, like a grasp. Set the tone from the primary moment. Whether or not it is playful, calm, severe, or intimate, begin with your personal emotional power. Don't tackle hers. Decide on the second approach earlier than it starts. Are you here to attach, to revel in, or to steer? That decision will become the silent gravity that attracts her in. Never explain when challenged. Reframe it as an alternative. If she asks, "Are you constantly this quiet?" you do not make an apology. You are saying, "I just like to watch the room earlier than I speak." Use pauses intentionally. A man who pauses before he speaks indicates inner self-belief. You're no longer speeding to fill silence due to the fact you personalize it. Talk in short, intentional sentences. Dispose of fluff. Allow your phrases to land. While she feels the load of your sentences, she believes in your path. What this creates is emotional fact. Women do not fall in love with good judgment. They fall in love with the sensation they get in your presence. That feeling is created by means of the body you hold. So if you input a second thought, "I am hoping she likes me,"